Hi, Lakeview. Welcome to your last formation moment for the month of April. A few weeks ago, before we entered isolation, I was listening to a podcast by Basil van der Kolk about how we deal with trauma. He talked about how we work trauma out in our bodies by helping one another when crisis hits. For instance, when governments send in agencies during emergencies and those agencies don't include the population, they disempower those who are hurting and they stifle the healing process. Which has made me wonder how we do that now that we're in isolation and we can't use our bodies to help one another in the way that we're used to. We can't meet with one another and we can't help in the ways that we usually do. We're figuring it out. We're reaching out to one another virtually, leaving treats on one another's doorsteps and smiling and waving at our neighbors from across the street. These aren't adequate replacements for being physically close, but they help. Another way we've seen people connecting is through singing. We've all seen people quarantined in Italy singing from their windows and balconies together. Or maybe you watched Andrea Bocelli sing from the cathedral in Milan on Easter Sunday. There's something about music that connects us. As I was reflecting on this and thinking about the way music connects us, I remember that when I went to Ethiopia to bring my 2 sons home, one of the things I loved about them was that they would sing songs together all the time. We couldn't understand what they were saying at that time, but we'd be bouncing along in the taxi together, and one of them would see something outside the window and begin to sing, and soon all of the kids in the van would start singing together. It connected them. And when we arrived home, music connected us as a family. Before we could all speak the same language, we could all sing U2's Vertigo together. Cruising in the Honda Odyssey, 4 kids in the car seats in the back, all singing together. We still sing it together. It knit us together as a family. Lots of us are missing the time we spend together on Sundays singing. We're missing the way that singing together knits us together as a community. How doing one thing together reminds us that we as individuals are part of a collective, are part of something bigger. Music reminds us that we are not alone. And often the story we tell through music helps bring order to the chaotic moments and emotions we have. We're not the only one who feels this way. Music can help us breathe when life feels claustrophobic and can give us a larger view of the story we're living. In particular, worship music, or hymns, can remind us of the story of God and give us a structure or a scaffolding for our lives when things feel fragmented and dislocated and chaotic. These songs embed our stories in the redemptive framework of God's big story. God creates out of the overflow of love. We get it right, but often get it wrong, and God forgives and recreates and redeems. Our lives are always bookended by God's love and forgiveness. Phew. I know a lot of you are missing the way that worshiping together sweeps you up in this reorienting of your story, how these songs reflect and challenge your experiences. And so, for this week's formation moment, I've created a playlist that I'm going to share with you below in the description, as well as on the formation page of our website. I've included familiar hymns and worship songs that we sing together as a community. Press play and sing along. It's not the same as singing together, but it might help you when you're in a tight spot to remember that you're not alone and that God's grace is spacious. There's room to breathe. There's hope. This playlist is also open to you to share the songs that are helping you reorient yourself to God in this time of COVID. So add on to it. Participate by letting us in on the songs that help you practice the presence of God in these times of COVID. A final note, you might not like all the songs on the playlist. That's okay. Sometimes I don't like the songs we sing on Sunday morning, But it's not all about me. It's about our community sharing an experience of worship. So don't be afraid to share whatever song is resonating with you right now. Who knows how God might use a song we don't like to remind us that we belong to Him and to one another.
You're getting really, really, really good at this.